With the depth you have this year,
Yeah.
Maybe less hesitant to make lineup changes as opposed to last year in the playoffs?
No, I just call them as I see them. As each game goes by, as guys play, we'll just make our call as the series goes on. Yeah.
Some players step up big in big games. Do you have a sense of who those guys are before they get under the bright lights, or is that something you got to feel out?
We're just going to watch. Yeah, it's one of the most interesting parts of playoff hockey, where some guys shrink and some guys get really big. And that's when you find out about your team, about your players, about the individual player, about your team concept. They're high-stake games. I think we played high-stake games at the end of the regular season to get in. This is at a whole nother level. And so we continue to learn about our team and see where we're at.
In that vein, some of your four guys that struggled early on, when the games really started to count, turned it on, how important was that to get them?
Yeah, we don't have a sniff. We don't have a sniff of playing or even talking today. We'd be breaking up today if those guys didn't come through. So that's where I feel good about the team. I think we're playing some of our best hockey as a group, and certainly the individuals that you and I spent months talking about early in the year, of hoping they'd get going. They found their way, and I think with them and the additions at the deadline, I think our group feels really good about itself.
But honestly, how frustrating was it as a coach to kind of have to go a long game with that? To like, it's going to come, it's going to come.
Well, I can't get frustrated. It's just your team just will not find its way if your core guys, your best guys, aren't there consistently during a regular season. So there's no sense of getting frustrated. We try to help them, and so it was a long process there. It's a great learning situation as we've grown as a team this year. But right now I think those guys are at the top of their game. I look at Cam. Cam is playing better than he was playing at any time last year. That's really good news as we start our series.
And he seems to know it too. How important is that?
That's the most important thing. It's not what I know or what I feel. It's how they feel. I'm just trying to get through these couple of days, answering your questions for the next couple of days, and just getting the series going here. Because I don't know what you're going to ask me tomorrow after today.
I'm not there.
Do you see? We've seen Wenny on the half wall and down low on the power play. Is there one spot that you like him better? Or?
No, we're simulating Washington today. Okay. That's all that was today in practice. That's not a power play practice. That's a penalty killing practice. So we're trying to simulate and just give them a look and go over maybe some of their tendencies. So that's all.
Is that why Brett was firing those first 2 or 3 shots?
Yeah. Well, he's a pretty good guy over in that circle too. So yeah.
Speaking of Brad, how much do you get the sense that he was a big missing piece that you needed
here with our team?
Yes.
Well, we're going to find out. When we traded Sauter, because I want to make sure when we talk about Sauter, he's a really good player. Bred's a different type player because Bred can make a special play to win a game. Sauter is just a really good player. I just think Bred's more dynamic, and I think for you to get through and find your way and try to be a better playoff team, you need to have some players that are dynamic and that you're not coaching it. They just see something, they seize a moment, and they win you a game, or they make a huge play to get you back in the game, and maybe you win it in another way. That's what he brings, and I look at Thomas Vanek. As I said yesterday, I think he has a little bit of that in him too, in a different way, but he makes some big plays at key times. So when you're playing the best teams in the league, and as you keep on going through here in the playoffs and you start your games, you're playing against really good players, really good teams, defensive teams, goalies, all that. You need something to get you over the top in certain situations. Bred can do that for us.
The first 50 games or so, such a struggle to score goals for you guys. The last 30, you're filling the net up with pucks. Was it just a matter of time, do you think, the way you guys were playing before the pucks started to go in?
Well, I appreciate our guys. We didn't, I don't think there was any panic. I think we just try to stay about our business. And as we talked about earlier in this conversation, we needed those 4 or 5 guys to get going. And so we kept playing them, trying to help them. They try to help themselves. And slowly you find a way to make a big play, you score a goal, and maybe another game you go back-to-back with games and you score maybe 2 goals in that game. That's when they start relaxing. So I never had a problem with this team as far as their work habits. It was just getting our top guys to relax a little bit and allow them to play, just to play the game. That has come along, and that's why you score goals. Right. Is the confidence. It's not anything we did coaching. It's not where we changed our team concept. Those guys started feeling better about themselves, and they allowed themselves to play.
It helps that finish, basically.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it helps them see things. When you're feeling pressure and your game isn't there, you kind of have blinders on as an offensive guy too. Those creative guys, those offensive people, they see things that you and I will never see in a hockey game. That's important to score goals. And so yeah, we tried to stay out of their way, but just try to. The biggest problem we had this year as a team when we were going through our struggles was our confidence. And it wasn't effort. There wasn't many times this year at all I had to talk to that team about how hard to play. It was about confidence and allowing themselves to play.
John, you talk so much about it's our team, I'm focused on our team. So do you even spend a minute, the fact that they may end up playing 2 goals, I think they announced just now Grubauer's going to start?
No, it doesn't change how we go about of business. We're just concerned about our game. Obviously, we did a little special teams today as far as what to expect on their power play. We'll have our power play practice, what expecting a penalty killing. Odds and ends, that's a little bit more than regular season as far as tendency of the team because it is a 2-week series. But when it comes to goalies and all that, no, we're just going to go about our business.
What special challenges does Washington offer in a big series? It's not just one game.
No, I'm not talking about Washington. I'm not going to talk about Washington. No.
Pierre-Luc, he's progressed all year. You brought him along slowly. What kind of level can he take in the playoffs for you now?
I didn't bring him along slowly. He got thrusted into a spot that, I did absolutely nothing. He did it. He got put into a spot because we were struggling and accepted. I gave him a ton of responsibility that, as I've said for a number of times, I know you guys are sick here, we weren't sure if he was going to be able to handle the center ice position. We weren't sure where he was going to go through the year. He has just taken it upon himself. And, I don't even look at it. I look at him as a guy that he's a #1 center.
You don't see him as a rookie anymore.
Oh, no.
When did that stop, really, for you?
Oh, that's easily end of January, probably in there. But the more important thing is how he feels about it. I think he carries himself right on the line of knowing he's a really good player, but also has the humility to know that he's still a first-year guy in this league. And he doesn't talk on the ice. When I see so many young kids in this league yapping on the ice, to me acting the wrong way, I've always put him and Z in the same category. They're really good pros. Beyond their years is understanding what it is to be a pro, and I think that's helped him progress. So, you kidding me? I don't look at him as a rookie right now. He's turned into a young man here before our eyes in such a short season.
The way that he plays, the way that he drives teams crazy, can that have an advantage in a 7-game series with the way that as physical as he plays?
Yeah. The series is a game of an attrition too, where you try to wear teams down. And the thing I like about Luke, he's in the areas, he's getting noticed, but it's not with his mouth. It's not that stuff. It's just he plays hard. He's in those areas. And that's the key thing for him and that's where he respects the league. He's not going to yap at players. He's just going to go about his business and bring that attention to him. And whatever comes his way, he can handle it. So yeah, that's a really big part of being a pro, is just keeping your eyes focused straight ahead. Don't let anybody try to intimidate you. Go about your business. And I haven't seen him change a lick as far as when teams have come at him.
John, you always say that Bob has to be the best guy on the ice, the best player on the ice every night.
I think goalies always have to be, not just Bob. I think all goalies, that's such a unique position. That is the key position in winning and losing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that especially true? Is that magnified in playoffs?
Well, everything's magnified. The players have to play better. You have to play faster. You have to be more disciplined. Everything within your team concept has to be better because they're high-stake games, and that's the greatest thing about playing playoffs is that can you get your level up there, and that's what you find out yourself is what type of player you are in playoffs. Same thing for the goalie. I don't differentiate our concept, our centers, our wingers, our D, and our goalie. The goalie is just the key position in the game of hockey. And sure, it's magnified, but so everything else is magnified in the game too in the playoffs.
Yep.